This is Blazing Strike by Rare Breed Makes Games, a game that came out last month, a game that I was actually going to buy on release to support the developers, but to be honest, when I saw what the price was, I was a little bit surprised. It was over £35 roundabouts, and I just was wanting to wait for the price to come down. I really do feel like maybe the developers should have actually released this maybe a little bit cheaper. I understand that this was came out physically on PlayStation as well as Switch, so maybe they certainly had production costs. So maybe that's the reason why they felt justified in charging such a high price for a game that I feel should really be more of a budget title. It's a little bit rough as well, to be frankly honest. I'm not the best at fighting games. I love fighting games, but honestly, it's a little bit janky. I'm also playing a character that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. She has got half circle motion inputs as well as resources, so I don't really tend to play characters that have resources or that particular type of motion input. It has got some interesting ideas. You've got this rush mechanic. You can see at the top of the screen you've got this green bar, it's like a stamina bar, and if I hold down the rush button and just button mash, it's very much like modern controls in Street Fighter. So, it's quite accessible. Also, the character designs are pretty cool. They've got a bit of a retro 90s vibe to them, and honestly, look at that. You can't have a fighting game without some horny characters. That's basically it, really. So you've got this cyberpunk aesthetic which fits with the whole 90s vibe they're going for, and overall, to be honest, if this game was cheaper on release, I think it would have been more well received, so to speak. But again, I do think it needs a little bit of work. I think some of the UI as well, you've got some of the kind of pixel retro style text, the font, but then the character names aren't, and I don't know, it's a bit odd. It's just a bit jarring in some places. I do feel that it needs some level of visual cohesion, and I think that could be fixed easily. And I'm not just saying this as some kind of criticizing arsehole either. This is made in Unity, and I have some experience with that game engine. In fact, I would love to make a fighting game at some point. I totally appreciate how much effort and time it does take to actually make a video game in Unity, especially a 2D fighting game like this. This stage had an environmental hazard. There was this whirlwind that was keeping my opponent at bay. But the problem is that because the mirror match, both the characters looked identical and there wasn't any kind of difference in coloration or anything like that. There's no shaders or anything like that. So it was quite confusing. Also, after this, the AI bugged out. Here you go. And she stayed like this for ages. My opponent just didn't really move, so I just took her out. Kind of annoying, really. So yeah, this game really does need a little bit more time in the oven. But honestly, really, really good effort on the part of the developers, and I hope that they fix this game because I think it's worth it.